everybody, quick disclaimer before we get into this. This is a video I filmed almost a year ago and I just never got a chance to put it up. And since I'm struggling to film right now, I just decided to go ahead and share it with you. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Kyla and I'm oh so excited to have you join us today. So it's like really cold outside. So I am here in front of the fireplace. It is on and I'm in this really cozy sweater. Miss Winter and Mr. Coco are around me, so if you see them pop up in the video, they say hello in advance. Anyway, today's video is going to be, it's quite an interesting one, and I toyed with the idea of posting this, but you know what, I decided it's more of an awareness thing than anything. It's not to, you know, shame anyone or call anyone out. I will not be revealing names, but basically it's going to be comments people have made about my vision. For those who do not know, I am legally blind. I was born with septo-optic dysplasia, optic nerve hypoplasia, and nystagmus. And the nystagmus is basically the main thing that a lot of people, it's the only thing people can see. So it is where my eyes move. They constantly move. They do not, they don't stop moving. Actually, it's kind of it's basically living with an invisible disability because it's not that easy. I don't really look any, you know, different. So like I said, my eyes move, and then when I take Winter out, I have a service animal. So I can like read, I can see some stuff far away and everything, but I just have to get really up close when I read and everything. And you know, it's kind of hard for some people. Like, it looks like I'm rolling my eyes all the time, and I promise I'm not, because some people are like, why are you rolling your eyes at me? I literally am not. I don't even know how to roll my eyes. I wasn't even aware people like made eye contact until I got older. I didn't know that people, apparently they literally lock eyes with each other. I'm like, I didn't know that. If you talk to me, I will look in your direction, but I can't, like, I don't know, that's really the only way you can know if I'm, you know, interacting with you. So anyway, like I said, I'm not naming names. I'm going to try my best to describe these in situations where like I don't know, like you can't like figure out who I'm talking about, even though you probably, these are all people I don't personally know. Like, they're not family members or stuff like that, or even friends. They're just random individuals I've encountered. So it's gonna be like in no particular order, but I'm gonna start out with this one because I actually don't remember this happening, and I don't really remember the full context of the story. But I was little and my mom had me in the store, and this lady was trying to talk to me, and she basically asked my mom like why I wasn't looking at her. And then, you know, since I have no memory of this, I don't know what I did. I was probably really little to where I didn't understand. And so I'm pretty sure my mom told her. I obviously had a visual impairment, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, this next one, I was out and I came into contact with this person, and they, I was obviously looking at them, I was looking at their face and everything, and I was trying to explain something to them, and they literally took their hand and they were like, A, like waving it in front of my face and saying that. And if I was a lot younger at the time, I probably, this is awful, I probably would have cried right then and there, or, you know, just been like, okay. But me being the strong individual that I am when it comes to people making comments about my vision, I had to explain, okay, I am looking at you even though it doesn't look like it, so I had to go into that whole spiel. Another thing, I had someone ask me after I had explained my situation to them, they were like, oh, you're legally blind, so you can see like big things, right? And in a sense, this person was correct, but we all know legal blindness is a spectrum disorder, so everybody can see different things. Yes, I can see big things, so that person was correct in a sense. Another one, this one was actually it wasn't terrible. I think I was counting change, and I have a very hard time counting change. I cannot tell nickels and quarters apart. So I asked the person I was with at the time, can you help me figure this out? And this stranger said, you should be able to read those. Your eyes are much younger than mine. And I was a teenager when this happened, and I said something along the lines of, oh, I'm actually legally blind. And this lady, you could tell she felt like really bad. So she actually gave me a hug, which that was actually a good, that was a good outcome. And you know, I'm never ever rude when I explain this now, because before I would never explain it. And now I have a little thing that I basically say, and that one wasn't too bad. Another one, I think I was about 12 or 13. I met someone, and I said hello, and they said, you really should work on your eye contact. It's polite when you meet someone. And this was when I wasn't super comfortable with, explaining things, and I literally just said, okay, and that was the end of that. But that really got to me, and I felt so horrible for the rest of the night. And that's really when I thought about eye contact, and I really realized that I do look different to people when I talk to them, and that could possibly be why even now today I get strange looks when I check out at a cash register, or I order at a restaurant or something. It's just kind of weird. Not all people look at me funny, but some of them do, and I do have enough vision to tell when they're kind of like, what? So, this next one is probably the worst. I remember this very, very vividly. And I was with my mother and my grandmother, and this person basically said, "Are you doing that on purpose, or are your eyes always that funny?" My grandmother didn't know what to say. I, still being a kid, didn't know what to say. But if you don't know my mother, because she hasn't been on this channel yet, but if you do know her, then you know that she did not take this lightly. It was a huge thing, because as an adult, really, you should never ever say something like that to someone with any type of disability. And to that person, even though it's been 10 years later, yes, my eyes are always that funny, and I'm kind of doing it on purpose. So I look at it as a learning experience for both myself and that individual. But here comes the part where I'm going to differentiate adult comments and children comments. As an adult, you obviously are aware that there are many different types of people in the world, whether they are blind or deaf or autistic or have any type of other, disability. You know that not everybody is the same. As a kid, you're still learning that. And I'm the oldest of all my cousins on both sides of my family, so I have a ton of cousins. And the cousins I grew up with, the ones that were 5 years younger than me and up, they like my friends that I grew up with. I was just Kyla. I was never anything different to them. They know, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but then any of my cousins younger than that, I have to explain to them, or one of my relatives has to explain to them. Now these are actually, they're a little bit more lighthearted than the ones I have addressed previously, but I want to share these because I really think it's important. I will never ever take offense to what a little kid says to me, because I really want to educate them. So if they make some sort of comment, I'll be like, okay, this is why I am the way I am. So I have a couple little cousins that I absolutely love sharing these stories because they're just really funny. So I have one cousin that she still brings this up today, and she actually brought it up to me at Christmas, and it was so funny, we laughed about it. And she goes, "Remember when I was really little and I thought your eyes, I asked you, why do your eyes look like roly-polies?" And I think, honestly, it's adorable to me because she's 9 now, and she remembers that from when she was little, and she now knows that I am different and I cannot see things correctly. And I think that I don't know, that's just one of my favorite stories because it's something she remembers, and that's how she remembers that I am different, because my eyes to her look like roly-polies, and that's okay. Now, another one of my cousins asked about me, and as an adult, how do you properly explain this to a kid? I obviously deal with this all the time. And a relative of mine basically told this cousin that my eyes don't work right. And that is 100% true. So now it's kind of a running joke in my family that my eyes don't work right. And I don't take offense to it because honestly, to a kid, it either works or it doesn't work. And my eyes don't work correctly, but they do work. They just don't work right. So that's kind of how those two cousins, you know, interpret my vision. I have another cousin that, you know, they always ask, you know, when they were really little, why can't you drive? Because once I turned 16, they were like, oh, you can drive. And I'm like, no, my friend, I can't. I mean, I could, but it would probably be bad. So, you know, then you have to explain to them. And my grandmother actually explained to this group of cousins that God made Kyla's eyes different. And that is also 100% true. My eyes are different, just like everything else about me, because I am unique. But that is how that group of cousins kind of learned. And now I love watching them grow because now they realize that I need help doing stuff. Like when I babysit them, obviously they're older now, but when I see them and I make them lunch, we usually have pizza, and they understand that it's difficult for me to cut the pizza, so they help me with that. I have a cousin that loves to watch me play The Sims, and it's a simulation game, and on the right-hand side of the screen, there's these little notifications that pop up, and I read them occasionally, but it's just really time-consuming for me. So when she watches me, I play the game, and she reads what the notifications say. And I just think that's adorable because she's 9, and you know, when they're little, it's really important to educate them like that. So I think having me in all of my cousins' lives has definitely, I don't want to sound like really, really self-centered, but I think it's definitely helped them be more aware of things. My closest cousin, basically, like I said, growing up with my cousins, I was never different to them. And my closest cousin is an absolute godsend. She always helps me, you know, anywhere we go. Anytime we have like a family gathering and we're getting, you know, food, I'm always by her, obviously. So she helps me with that, and she obviously explains like what things are to me. I covered this in my holiday anxiety video, but like I said, my cousins having me in their life has definitely made them, and my family members, honestly, all my family members and my friends growing up, it's definitely made them more aware. If you are, you know, wanting to possibly inquire about something about someone who you may have encountered or, you know, known for a long time, please do me a favor and just remember these two things. One, legally, let's just use me for an example. I am not required to disclose my disability to you, or, you know, anyone for that matter. So I did not have to provide my explanations that I did with the examples that I shared for you. I did not have to explain to those people, but I chose to do so for educational purposes. And number two, before you ask something, again, let's use me as an example. Say, put yourself in that person's shoes. So basically, say, if I was legally blind, how would I respond to someone asking me, are you doing that on purpose? Or are your eyes always that funny? So think about how that would affect you before you ask that. And honestly, that goes for any situation. So life lesson, treat others how you want to be treated. Think about how that would affect you before you ask or say something. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was a little on the fence about making it, but I'm kind of glad I did because it definitely is a very good thing to be aware of in today's society. So anyway, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and hit that really cool notification bell so you can know the exact moment I post a new video. I will see you guys all next time. Have a blessed day, everybody.